Hi everyone, Pete Bond here. Just wanted to give you an update on the pay for availability duty system and the negotiations that have been taking place. By now, many of you will have either seen directly or indirectly a communication from the Fire Brigades Union for Devon and Somerset stating that their brigade committee have decided not to approve the latest version of the agreement to go to their members for voting on. This is disappointing because obviously the service have been working with the union to try and achieve an agreement which their members could take a view on and which obviously affects their on-call careers and their pay and terms and conditions. From that respect, the service is disappointed, but we do have some plans in place to carry on and work with stations on a voluntary basis individually to understand those that want to improve their pay and conditions and take pay for availability forward, and that will be carrying on through the business change managers and the operational readiness managers visits throughout November. So please make sure you have your say by engaging in that process, even if you can't through the FBU. I just want to address a couple of points that were made in that communication that was sent out, just to clarify some position basically. So there's a point made around the sickness and restricted duties elements within the collective agreement. The point here is that those policies have been previously negotiated and agreed with all the representative bodies, and the pay for availability system and the collective agreement around that just clarified that position for that duty system. And in fact, it allows for clear levels of pay for anybody in this scenario, and also a managed return to full duty if anybody finds themselves on sick pay or on restricted duties. Second point was around the development work, in particular the development of tactical decision making, where there were crews of less than 4 available. Now we recognise that crewing with less than 4 is not something that the Fire Brigades Union would want to take forward, and indeed that's not something the service is encouraging. That's why pay for availability is budgeted to pay for a minimum of 5 on the first pump and 4 on the second pump, plus a range of specials as well. So clearly this is more about us making sure that you as end users have the right tools and you have the right risk assessments in place should you find yourself in a position where you wish to mobilise with a crew of less than 4. We'd also be at pains to point out that the FBU have asked on many occasions to be involved in developing risk assessments for new ways of working, and this statement was in the collective agreement in order to try and facilitate that. Second piece of development work was around the station management tools and how the pay for availability system could be worked, not only by the operational readiness managers but also by station management teams. So that development work has actually been ongoing through the past few months whilst we've been engaging through the early adopters scheme. And many of the end users involved have contributed to that, including FBU members, I'm sure. So it's not as if that development work hasn't been part of the process, and we'd expect that to continue because we want to make sure that you are getting the right tools to deliver the job at the end of the day. There was another point made around the crewing of special appliances. Now, the pay for availability system does not change the way in which we crew specials across Devon and Somerset, which is by dual crewing. So we do not expect extra crew to be available necessarily for our special appliances. We recognise that we will have to make a choice between a pump and a special when they're needed. I also appreciate that many of you that have specials on an on-call station do try to ensure that you have more than enough crew to crew both the pump and the special appliances. When we started these negotiations, my initial position was to say that we didn't need to pay for availability on special appliances. However, the representative bodies, both the Fire and Rescue Services Association and the Fire Brigades Union, successfully argued that there should be an element of paying for that, and that has now been written in. But what we've done is, rather than saying that any particular appliances are more important than another, it's matching resources to risk. So we've taken a view on those special appliances that contribute most to either public or firefighter safety and put those at the forefront of pay for availability. So we have listened and we have done something about that. Final point was around the pensionability of the pay for availability system. And unfortunately, this seems to be a point which the Fire Brigades Union seem unaware to absorb. We have taken it to both a national and to a local pension board level, and we've got clarity that the local pension board is the right forum to make a determination, and they are quite comfortable that the pay for availability system is a pensionable pay system. So there is absolutely no reason to be concerned about that whatsoever. So as I say, from a service perspective, we're a bit disappointed that the Fire Brigades Union don't see fit to consult their members on something which is fundamental to their pay and terms and conditions. However, we're quite comfortable to consult with you on a station by station basis to understand what it is you would like to do in terms of taking the system forward, and that will be happening through November so that we can budget plan for the next few years, because obviously the more people that take this on, the more budget that the service will need to make available to that. And if we don't see a point of taking that forward in certain areas because you don't want it, then we'll obviously be able to cut our budget back accordingly. So I encourage you to get involved in those discussions on station, and look forward to hearing your feedback through the business change managers and the operational readiness managers. Thanks very much. Take care, everyone.